Well, a maverick means what a maverick means because of this man right here.
Howdy, and welcome back to the Texas Bucket List. You know, San Antonio is a city full of history, but for some buffs of the bygone era, just seeing the sights isn't enough. Fortunately, we found a frighteningly good outing in the Alamo City, making it a spooky stop on the Texas Bucket List. When the sun sets on San Antonio, the city seems to take on a whole new perspective. Sights that seem ordinary during the day all of a sudden get sort of spooky. Maybe that's because these places have a story to tell, and the folks at Sisters Grimm Ghost Tours are happy to haunt your dreams.
You are standing in the most haunted room, in the most haunted floor, in the most haunted hotel in Texas.
Spirits reside in this great city.
James Schwartz married one of the original Sisters Grimm, his wife Lauren. Lauren and her sister started this San Antonio tour dedicated to stories from the other side back in 2011.
We always loved doing ghost tours. We've been to ghost tours all throughout the country, and we decided San Antonio really doesn't have a true, authentic ghost tour.
James had a premonition that joining in on the apparition operation wouldn't be a horrifying profession.
I figured, this is a lot more fun than working with living people. I'd rather work with dead people.
So here you are.
Here I am.
Whether it's walking the streets, hearing spooky stories, or going for a spin in a seriously spooky set of wheels, you'll never know what you'll hear on this haunted tour.
So any young psychopaths here, life lesson, don't show off your souvenirs.
Ghost stories can be embellished at times, especially from the aspect of the person that tells you the ghost story. They feel different things, and a little game of telephone goes along, and stories change over time. But all the history is true.
The first bumps in the night are heard at the historic Menger Hotel, where ghost sightings are often seen in pictures.
We have 36 known spirits that haunt the Menger Hotel. We have spirits such as Sally White, one of the old chambermaids of the hotel, killed just outside the hotel. We have Teddy Roosevelt. He haunts the Menger Bar.
Oh, that's my boy right there.
He knows you might get recruited later on if you go take a drink.
Yeah, right?
And then we have Captain Richard King of the King Ranch. Died right upstairs in the hotel.
I hear that's a pretty haunted room.
One of the most haunted in the hotel.
Laying right here, she wakes up in bed to that nervous feeling. She rolls over in bed and looks up. And there is Captain Richard King, staring down upon her.
He's seen smoking cigars outside the mezzanine, even walking through walls in front of a very scared guest.
And people stay in this room.
People stay and they pay to stay in this room.
Before you can get too comfy in the hotel, you'll head to historic buildings around town, like the Spanish Governor's Palace and the old Bexar County Jail, which now happens to be a hotel. Happy dreaming.
Now, the old Bexar County Jail, it was very unique. Now, they hosted the worst of the worst of the worst, but the very worst of them is Mr. Clemente Apolinar. He's a very bad man.
I have felt things, I have heard things, I've actually thought I've seen things, but if we could promise seeing ghosts on our tours, we'd probably be charging a little bit more for admission.
Yeah, right. As if all of this isn't creepy enough, you'll end the evening on the east side of town at the historic cemetery, consisting of 103 acres of prominent permanent residence.
Just visiting all the founders of our city. Some of the prominent people such as Mr. Menger, who built this beautiful hotel. He's at the East Side Cemetery District. Carl Gunther, Pioneer Flour Mill. There's just so many great stories of these people that have passed on that a lot of people, they don't know they're buried here. They don't know of their past. They don't know what makes San Antonio San Antonio. So it's great to share the cemetery with folks.
That includes the grave of Samuel Maverick, who was chosen to leave the siege at the Alamo to sign the Texas Declaration of Independence.
He was actually voted by his fellow soldiers to be their representative at the Texas Declaration of Independence signing. That's right. He missed that battle by 3 days because he was voted there. And actually, if you look past, when you walk by his tombstone, there's a scroll on the back of it that is only for people who signed the Texas Declaration of Independence.
While the Sisters Grimm Ghost Tour can definitely make you shake in your boots, in the end it comes down to the history of the Lone Star State. And who doesn't like a tall tale in Texas?
Basically, it's just kind of a fun way to hear the history and kind of hear some scary stories.
Absolutely. History and gore and all in between.
I wonder if there's an after bucket list. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be phenomenal. I think as a spirit, you possibly could accomplish everything you couldn't do on Earth while you were alive.
What's on my after bucket list? We're going to haunt the Menger. We're going to haunt everywhere we've ever been. That way, every place we've ever been can say, remember the guy from the Texas bucket list? Yeah, he haunts this place. Where's he at? The bar.
So if visiting with folks that have already kicked the bucket is on your bucket list, Sisters Grimm Ghost Tours in San Antonio is a lot safer than busting out any Ouija boards.
I'm very passionate about history, but the ghost stories, just seeing the joy and the entertainment in people's faces as I share these ghost stories, the fear in their eyes, brings me a lot of happiness.